I come from the Florida Department of Transportation when I come out of college first. And we've been 40 years here on Walnut Street with the laundry. And I'm concerned. I built a house on Laurel Ridge up on, I looked down at the golf course. I wanted to be above the 6,000 feet so I don't have no flies, mosquitoes and stuff. And I'm very concerned. First of all, I'm 90 plus. I have a wife that's also 90 plus. We were married in 56, if that matters. But I'm so concerned about the roads. I know Mr. Taylor, when he developed that, I bought my lot before it was even in the city. And when I got ready to build, I could not find a builder that would build what I wanted. So I took the job on myself. I was born and raised in that business. And I worked on it for 17 years because I wanted a waterfall and a few other things. And all the builders said, you can't do that. You can't put a waterfall in your house. They're going to do this with the windows and that. And I said, well, Donald Trump's got one, so he don't seem to be having any trouble. So that's the reason I built the house myself. I could not find anybody. But when the city bought or took it over, annexed it, at that time, your Taylor, he had sold very few. I think I had maybe 3 neighbors at the time. And at that time, we had water that Mr. Taylor had dug the wells, put little ponds up there, and it was very adequate. And when I got this notice in the mail from the city about the pipe from the city to the house, I thought it was a joke. I've had to replace my water heater, one of them, twice already because of the settlement. Now, on my corner up there, there's evidently now, 20-some years later, we have 5 people pulling off the same program. One pipe, I don't really know. I couldn't get anybody at the city who could tell me. And the water pressure now, we keep adding to the 5 that's already there. So the water pressure now becomes very concerning because a lot of times, and when they talk about dirt in the line, I thought maybe they want to come up and see my hot water heaters I had to replace. They're not cheap anymore. I'm all done, huh?
Yeah, your time's up, sir.
I'm
If you
telling you.
could just-
Well, I'm
who's
going
here
to
that
take
could
2 more
take a
minutes.
copy of that? Who's here that could take a copy of this
because
notice and contact
Could
you?
you give a copy to the clerk of what you were expressing there, so we'll have that on hand?
We'll have someone
Well,
contact
now I'm
you to
concerned
talk
about the roads.
Yeah.
And is the city going to do something or not do something?
Yeah.
Who do I sue when the wife or somebody runs off a road? You can't see the pavement
Yeah.
because it's all grown out.
Yeah.
And the city, when I talked to them, said, well, we got a trimmer coming or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'll come back
Okay.
because this is bull. This
Sir.
is,
Sir,
and you need to get out there.
sir,
What?
did you just give your information to the clerk? We'll make sure that someone contacts you.
Okay. Okay, we move right along. Additions and deletions to the agenda. Does anyone have any?
Mayor, I have quite a few, actually. We need to remove item 2C from the agenda in completion.
2C,
Yes, I would like to move item 2D, 2E, and 2G from the consent agenda and take up individually under new business.
D and E,
Yes,
and G.
yep. And under new business, I'd like to remove item number 6.
Yeah. I need-
And to the consent agenda, I'd like to add budget ordinance 03326, the Georgia Avenue, to the consent agenda.
To the consent agenda.
Yes.
Okay,
I second his deletions or additions to the deletion to the agenda and his deletions and additions to the consent agenda.
okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say.
I
Okay,
move we adopt the agenda as amended.
okay,
Second.
got a second by John. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, show like sign.
And I move we adopt the consent agenda as amended.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, show like sign.
And Mr. Mayor, may I make one comment about what we just did?
Okay,
And on our desk are two applications. We appointed one member, Caleb Beaver, to the Downtown Waynesville Commission, and he's very qualified. If I'm not mistaken, he either owns or runs Kilwins. And then we've also appointed Kenneth D'Ambrosio to the Board of Zoning Adjustment.
okay,
He's a former council member from a town much larger than ours,
Wow.
Rhode Island. Also served on their planning board and Board of Zoning Adjustment.
that's a good,
He's written
good
lots of
pick.
grants. He's very willing to help. So I encourage the planning department to make use of him. I saw Elizabeth here earlier.
At least, yeah, she was here at one time there.
But anyway, and just to comment on the fact that I'm amazed that we get such qualified people on our boards, and we really appreciate
Yeah.
all the volunteers that we're getting.
Yeah, their volunteers are hard to come by.
It's great.
Thank you, Chuck, for
Sure.
that update. Okay, we'll move on to item 3. Item 3 is a public hearing to consider the Community Infrastructure Program grant application for Walnut Trail Bridge rehabilitation. Need a motion to open this public hearing.
I'll make a motion to open public hearing.
Second.
Got a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, show like sign. Okay, Deanna, correct? Did I say that correct?
Brianna.
Brianna.
Yes, sir.
You know.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Brianna Jaquish, Grants Manager. So just to give you some background, we are currently working on a grant application through the North Carolina Department of Commerce, specifically their Community Infrastructure Grant Program, to help fund the rehabilitation of Walnut Trail Bridge, which is the bridge that leads up to the wastewater treatment plant. As part of the grant application requirements, the town is required to hold a public hearing. The purpose of tonight's hearing is to provide the public with an opportunity to ask questions, to provide comments regarding the proposed project and grant application. If anyone is unable to provide comments or ask questions during tonight's hearing, there will also be a 10-day public comment period beginning tonight and ending August 21st. Written comments may be submitted to myself by email or by mail, and then my contact information is on that original public notice that was published to the town's website and our social media page. And then, although the purpose of tonight's hearing is to receive public comments and questions, we would also like to ask council to consider supporting the submission of the grant application, as council's support would demonstrate the town's commitment to the project and help strengthen the overall application. I am happy to answer any questions regarding the grant opportunity, the application, or the overall grant process. And then Laura Yonkers is here to assist with answering more project-based questions.
Okay, Chuck, you have any questions?
I do not.
John?
No, sir.
Anthony?
I actually do.
No worries.
Is
Keep
there-
away without Anthony.
Sorry, I always have questions.
Hey, that's okay.
Is there a local match requirement?
No, sir.
And is there a duplication of benefits because the CDBG-DR funds cannot pay for damages already covered by FEMA?
No, sir. If we get it, what we had originally allocated would be moved.
Thank you.
Okay.
I move we approve the application for the community infrastructure.
We
have
need
to
to
close
open it
public
up
hearing.
for the
Oh, I'm
public.
sorry. Pardon me.
Yes, we need to open it
Go
up.
fast
And
here.
then,
If you want to just stay there just a
Okay.
second.
Yeah.
I'm going to open it up to anyone in the audience that would like to speak concerning this approval for this community infrastructure program grant that we're working on. And if so I have someone, and the same rules goes by the 3-minute rule, and the town attorney will keep that 3-minute rule. So you would like to speak on it, ma'am?
I don't want to speak on it, I just have questions for it. What's first house on the road?
That, we'll come on up to the podium and we'll treat that as a comment.
We're not in the town of Waynesville, so I don't know your policies.
Yeah.
So we're the first house on the road. So my questions are, how's this going to affect us? Is this just for money to fix the bridge? Or is this for like getting plans to fix the bridge?
so the plan is to rehabilitate the bridge, and we're going to have to do that project no matter what. This specifically just helps kind of aid a little bit more of a financial burden that the town won't have to face because we need to address the bridge since it is an older bridge. And yes, ma'am. And it shouldn't affect you to a high degree because there should be other ways to get to your residencies, and we will have that.
That won't affect us anyway, because we own the other part of the land. So, you know, the
Yes.
first cousin owned, we're the reason there's a road there for those big
Right.
trucks to go. So that won't be a problem for my end of the road.
No.
It'll be a problem for the other end of the road.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is just a grant or an application to receive money to
Money,
fix the bridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
We want to fix your bridge for you.
And what's your name? April Huffman. Thank
Alright.
you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, now, Chuck, you can,
I'd like to move to close the public hearing.
okay, got a motion? You got someone else that would like to speak?
They belong to me.
Group effort.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, yeah, we don't overlook.
My husband owns the rest of it.
Thank you, ma'am, for your concern.
Yeah, well, I'll continue with that concern.
Okay.
We appreciate
Oh, yeah.
it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now, Chuck,
I move we close the public hearing.
we got a motion by Chuck,
Second.
second by Anthony, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, and so now we move on to someone for a motion in that order.
I move
Thank you.
we approve the application for the community infrastructure program grant.
Okay, a motion by Chuck,
Second.
second by John, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, shall like sign. Okay, dear, you can see if you can help us get that a community block grant there. Thank you. Okay, we move on to new business, a budget amendment for the fiscal year in 2026. Ian? There's an N. N or I? N. I'm sorry, I get that wrong every time. This is the man with the money, correct?
With the no money.
With no money right now. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So what I just gave you is our budget to actuals for fiscal year end '26. And I put together a little PowerPoint just to kind of take out some of the skimming work and give you all a high level view. So the first slide is just kind of where we were with budgeted versus actual. Or in terms of revenue, actual collected. So the general fund, we were at 19.253 million in terms of what we budgeted with revenues. And what we've actually collected is 19.964 million. Please keep in mind as well that there still are 2 more months of sales tax distributions to go. I I'm slightly more optimistic about it after seeing our last month. We ended up, our distribution was 430,000 this previous month, and that is up a bit from that same month last year was at about 390,000. So a little bit of an increase there. We are also starting to see some of our investment accounts like the North Carolina Capital Trust. It kind of bottomed out there for a little bit, and it's starting to climb back. And we're starting to do really well on our interest on our investments there. In the water fund, revenue wise, we budgeted to collect 3.64 million, and what we actually collected was 3.82 million. Sewer fund, we budgeted 4.46 million. We actually collected 4.84 million. And then the electric fund, we budgeted 11.42 million, and we collected 11.73 million. In terms of expenditures, so again, the revenue amounts, the amounts budgeted are going to be the same as that original budget, and the expenditures. What was actually spent, the general fund was 19.49 million. Water funds at 3.6 million, sewer funds at 4.82 million, and the electric fund was at 10.9 million. 10.9 million. So some of the highlights of our revenue collection, our ad valorem tax, again, I can't stress enough how lucky we are to have Sharon Agostini as our tax collector. State average is roughly 96 to 97%. We've been consistently collecting at over 99% when it comes to ad valorem taxes. Sales tax distributions, I know back in the spring and winter time, we were looking a little more pessimistic at our view towards those when they had started to decline a bit, but they have shown signs of stabilization. We've had extremely strong utility bill collection rates as well. And then we had a really great year in terms of development fees, connection fees, and parks and recreation fee collections. And like I mentioned earlier, we also have had increased investment income revenue. Those have all been huge plus sides for us. In terms of expenditures, we've had some longer term employees that had accumulated accruals, and fortunately we can't always predict those at the beginning of the budget year. So those do become more expensive in terms of how they impact our budget. And we've also had some necessary capital and infrastructure repairs, as I'm sure you all are aware, and then just general price increase of services and goods staying consistent with the economy. Then just apart from the budget, want to take a moment to let you all know what's going on in finance. So I'm sure you all know, but since this is my first council presentation since the new fiscal year started, we have gone live with credit card payments in the finance building. So we're officially coming into the 21st century a little bit here. We have an updated citizen portal that we're planning to launch this fall. It's much more user friendly. It'll be a lot easier for customers to use, pay their bills, be able to view all their bills, and be able to view usage in a month over month thing. So I know a frequent question we get with utility billing is, well, why is my bill so high? And then you look at the history of the account, and it's, well, your usage in December, this is pretty consistent historically for your account. So having that will be a huge asset for our customers. We are also working on credit card machines for other services. I know we've discussed it with development services and Candace as well for downtown and Public Art Commission. And then we are also finalizing our plan to work on implementing with Rick and the council as well to adjust our hours a little bit. We understand that a lot of people work during the time that we're working. So we are looking to adjust our hours to be open at 7 a.m. and do a 7 to 4. So we provide a little bit of time for those customers that have to work during the hours that we're open to be able to come in and get some customer service assistance if they need it. And also provide our staff a little bit of time towards the end of the day to be able to reconcile and balance and get to the bank and back before it closes. So it's a win-win solution in my books. And now the last side, questions.
Can you,
Anthony, I know Anthony's got it.
I'll let John go first
can
because mine's a
you
little bit
go
more.
back to the first slide that showed?
There you go.
We've got about $700,000 above budgeted collected, and that's minus 2 months of sales tax, correct? So do you have an estimate, just ballpark, what you think those final 2 months might look like?
Yeah, I told Rick this morning as well. I estimate that between the last 2 months, again, we know that sales tax can be volatile sometimes, but I'm shooting in the 750 to 800,000 ballpark, and I feel like that's pretty consistent for the summer months.
Between those 2 months.
Yeah, total those 2
Okay.
months combined.
So looking at adding about 750 to that actual collected. Okay.
Correct.
I like the sound of that.
Anthony, yeah.
Well, mine's a little bit more complicated. Yeah.
That's okay.
You would not expect anything less. The revenue section lists downtown as $4,739.57. Ad valorem tax, $18,056.43. And sewer charge at $84,801 with a sum of $107,597.63. And the stated subtotal is $108,047. That's a $450 gap
Which one are you looking at?
at the downtown section. The stated subtotals in the figures make the amendment balance $456,155.05 minus $348,107.42, which equals $108,47.63. So either the 450 revenue line has been dropped from the printed list or the subtotal is a typo. You know which one it is. And I'm sorry to bring that on you at the last minute.
No, you're totally fine. That's my bad.
It's probably a transposition because it's 450.
You're looking at the revenue section here. Get my calculator out.
And again, I apologize for not bringing that to you before.
Nope, that's my fault. And I'm sorry that wasn't correct for you all.
I'm guessing it's going to be correct, but it's a typo.
Yep, that is a typo.
So the amount should be 107,597.63 or 108.47.
The amount should be
47.
108.47.63.
Okay. Otherwise, I think you are doing a fantastic job. I'm very pleased that we're over taxes. And I appreciate all your hard work.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm definitely, it's not just me. I'm really proud of my staff. They've really stepped up their game and, working to make sure everything is good. And the other department heads and departments as well have really been a huge help through everything.
I have one more question.
Chuck, you
I
have
have
a
one more
question?
question. The revenue lines appear in parentheses under a heading titled Increase the following appropriations revenue. Can you confirm the parentheses denotes revenue increases rather than decreases? As printed, it reads as though revenue is falling while trend spending rises.
So I put that in there because that, like, when I'm looking at that 456, 155 at the bottom,
Yeah.
it kind of helps if I'm looking at the decreases up here and then I have the increases at the bottom. So the departments I'm increasing is that 456, 155.05, increasing those appropriations, and then the revenue chips away to make it balance with that 348, 107.42.
Thank you. It's just my gap, mine just went sideways.
Absolutely. I'm more than happy to update it for you if you would like.
It's fine. It's fine. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm done.
Chuck, you have any
No,
questions? Okay, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
We need a motion to,
Yes, a motion to approve would be
I'll
cool.
make a motion to approve the budget amendment.
Second.
Got a motion, second with John. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, show like sign.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. We've got next an approval of a design-built agreement for municipal solar. Say that word for me, Chuck.
Photovoltaic.
Battery energy
PV.
storage system.
Photovoltaic.
Laura, Miss Laura.
So the town issued a request for proposals on April 21st to 26th for the design and construction of the municipal solar photovoltaic and energy systems. We did the competitive procurement process. Rhino Renewables submitted their proposal to provide design build services utilizing the progressive maximum guaranteed price delivery model. So under this approach, the project will be completed in 2 phases. Phase 1, which we're here to discuss tonight, the contractor will perform all engineering, site investigations, utility interconnection coordinations, permitting, and preparedness of the final construction documents for a lump sum fee of $10,000. At the completion of Phase 1, the contractor will submit a maximum guaranteed price proposal for construction. Then we would come back again for Phase 2, and upon approval of the MGB through the contract amendment, Rhino Renewals will procure equipment, construct, install, test, commission, and complete the project. The Dogwood Health Trust funded resiliency project granted $487,000 for this project. So we're doing this design in Phase 1 to ensure that where the price falls and to see if the grant can cover everything or if we have to request some additional fees in order to do the complete grant. When Rhino Renewables came out, because when we met with them over at Public Works, we kind of altered their design and agreed to allow for the battery systems and everything to be placed in a Connex box at the back of the building. And based on that, of it being in an enclosure versus exposed to the elements, they did say that from their initial estimates, they thought the price would come down. So, but they have to do the full design and everything. So they think we will fall in the range, but they're not guaranteeing it until they've truly gotten into the numbers. So, does anyone have any questions?
Chuck, this is
No
your
questions. I can just say that several members of the Environmental Sustainability Board have been involved in this, in the selection of the Rhino Renewables
Yeah.
and in weighing in on the contract itself. Although Rick has been responsible for Rick and our former interim manager were responsible for the contract itself.
Yeah.
Rhino.
Okay, John, you have a question?
No, sir.
Anthony?
Of course, and this is for Rick. The contract price reads $0 in section 2 of the agreement, leaves the contract sum blank, while the schedule of payment shows $10,000 for Phase 1 design on siding. Do not authorize execution of the contract with a blank price, please. Every milestone target is target date X, so make sure that those are filled in. The agreement never identifies the project site, so we need to make sure that the project site says the municipality, the public service building. A 1% per week late fee, that's roughly 52% annualized, invoices 14 days past due. So we need to make sure the municipality payments run through the pre-audit process under General Statute 15928, because there's a weekly payment penalty. The town bears loss of component delivery to the site for all causes except Rhino's own actions. Ask what insurance covers that gap. The change order default to cost plus 20%, and the proposal says something different. The agreement provides that if the parties cannot agree on a change price, the town actually pays the labor and materials plus 20%. Also, there's no payments. The payment schedule has inconsistency. The final line reads commission and closeout 20%, $10,000, which is mixing a percentage and a fixed rate.
We'll make those revisions.
I-
and bring them back.
There's one housekeeping. The letterhead agreement lists Julia Freeman as mayor pro tem, and the mayor pro tem is actually Chuck.
I noticed that, I will miss.
And, yeah, I will say it for you. And Paige is listed as the interim manager where you are the interim manager. So I say that only to say on the record to get you to change all of those before we execute without the sum, the project site, and the schedule milestones are filled in, and the town attorney has signed off on the risk of loss and late fee provision before you sign. All right. Is that fair?
Absolutely. Happy to.
Okay, yep. With that, I would accept, authorize the interim town manager to execute the design build agreement with Rhino Renewable Solar and Electric for phase 1 design services for the municipal solar photovoltaic. Did I say that right? Voltaic and battery energy storage system, and authorize the interim town manager to negotiate and return to the board with a maximum guaranteed price contract amendment for phase 2 construction following completion of design.
Second. Got a motion and a second by Chuck. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, so like sign. You ready to go, dear?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, we skipping item 6. And so, let me get through here. We're going to skip item 6 and we're moving on. Item 7 is a budget amendment for Public Works. Hutch Reese, our Deputy Director of Public Works Operation.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I'm here to ask for a budget amendment for the Powell Bill reserves, to draw out of the Powell Bill reserve to pay for the road work we did earlier this year, a few months ago, which included East Street, paving from east all the way down to Hill, Auburn Drive, and then the long section of Allings Creek sidewalk from the church down to Camp Branch. So that
looks really nice.
All the work looks amazing.
Yep.
So like I said before, last time I was here, this is coming out of the Powell Bill reserve, so there's no cost. We already have the money. We just need to transfer it from the reserve to the active account. I think Ian has it going to infrastructure, paving, and improvements out of the streets and sanitation line. I don't know if that's going to stay there, if it's just going to be replenished or paid out, but in the sum of $310,747.
Anyone have any questions for?
Thank you. I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. What is the remaining Powell Bill balance after this appropriation?
And the reserve fund is, I don't know for sure, but you have less than 50,000.
After this appropriation, it will be about 54,000.
Is that do you think would you consider that the auditors would consider that an appropriate carryover? 44,000? It's been bigger or?
Yeah, the one thing about Powell is that you have to find that year when you pull that, so
You said October, the new,
Okay, if there's not any more questions, ask for someone to make
I
a
move
move.
that we approve the budget amendment transferring the funds from reserve to the category that Mr. Reese
Okay,
stated.
I'll second.
we got a second with John. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, show like sign. Thanks, Mr. Hutch.
Thank you, I
And
appreciate it.
Mr. Mayor, it seems to me, I think Anthony asked a good question. It seems to me that we should probably spend it all every year.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they may not want to give it to
I
us.
know, this is very, very true. I was just thinking, are there something left? Maybe do some more sidewalk work or something with that 40-something thousand.
You never know what we might need to do.
Okay, yeah. Hutch will figure that out.
just.
Yep. You'll find something there that needs to be. Yep, thank you. Yep. Okay, we move on to appointment to the Environmental Sustainability Board. Turn that over to our Mayor Pro Tem Chuck.
Folks,
Ditchin.
there are two applications in front of you, Magdalena Donnie and Ben Manning. And it is the recommendation that the Environmental Sustainability Board, that both of these individuals be appointed to the Environmental Sustainability Board. We've actually, several members have talked with each of them. They're both good candidates. I would make that motion to appoint Ben Manning and Magdalena Donnie to the Environmental Sustainability Board.
Okay,
I will second that.
I got a second by Anthony. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, show like sign. Thanks, Chuck. I guess you interviewed those guys, you and Julia.
Oh, no, we didn't interview these guys. Julie and I interviewed the fellow appointed to the Board of Zoning Adjustment,
Zoning Board.
Ken D'Ambrosio.
Right, okay,
Now we need to go back to 2D, which is
okay.
Chief.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll move on to our communication.
No, we're going back to the items that I removed from the consent agenda to put to the regular agenda, which is item 2D. It's the first
2B?
one of 2D, which is the repeal of the begging.
Okay,
Those are the ones that-
okay. All right,
The first question is actually to, I'm sorry. The first question is to Ms. Bradley.
Oh, yes.
Rule 33 that we passed in July 26, 2022 requires a second reading of any ordinance changes. Item 2E is getting 2 readings. This one isn't. Would this require 2 readings as well?
No, so the difference between 2D and 2E is that by state statute, any ordinance imposing a criminal penalty for violation of a local ordinance requires a second reading. General state law only requires a second reading of other ordinance changes if the council fails to pass it at the, I think it's 3/5 majority or 4/5, I can't remember the exact ratio. But typically, these kinds of things are passed unanimously with the town of Waynesville. So if tonight the chief's proposal did not meet that minimum statutory threshold, then it would need to come back to the
But
consent
I'm referring
agenda.
to the imposed rule from this council that Mr. Dixon proposed on July the 22nd, is that all ordinances get 2 readings. Joe?
I'm sorry, I don't have the rules in front of me.
I know we,
So is this,
you had
are you talking about
voted-
the rules of procedure?
yeah, we had agreed that all ordinances would get 2 readings back in July of 2022.
If I might interject,
We can override our own ruals, but I just want to make sure
Certainly,
we're
and
clear what we're
I
doing.
think this is a question for the city attorney. I think I know the answer, but she's the attorney, so I won't try to get later. Is that if the town's charter said, if it were in the town's charter, that it would prevail under state law. But as simply as a policy,
We can
it would
override
not
it.
necessarily override what state law requires. Am I correct in that?
That is my understanding. If however, the town has passed an ordinance, which I'm not aware of, that requires that
I think
second
it was
reading.
just
in
a
the council.
procedure that we all agreed to, a policy.
Yeah, so the council can waive its own.
And it
policies.
requires 3/5, so we'd have to do it unanimous.
It would have to pass unanimously, which most proposals of this kind do. with this board.
Absolutely.
So, if there's any debate, then,
I just
put it
wanted
on the
the
next
procedures
consent
of it.
agenda.
And then I have one question.
Sure.
Chief.
Mhm.
And you're absolutely correct that this has to be removed because it violates,
Yeah, there's some U.S. case law on it. yeah.
U.S. case law. What other actions do your officers still have in their arsenal?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, Council, thank you for your time. We're looking at some state statutes. There is something under disorderly conduct. If they're intoxicated while begging, you can be charged on the state statute. That's pretty much it. Or it could be blocking the roadway or blocking sidewalks. That, yeah.
Are you
impeding the
comfortable-
flow of traffic, disorderly conduct, those type of things.
Are you comfortable with that?
Sure, yeah.
Is there anything, would you like us to work on something that would pass the muster of, that would give you more action, or do you think that's?
I think
not
it's
necessary?
fair. Yeah, I don't know if there's really anything else we could do further. I'm not aware of anything statewide.
It would be hard to
Sure.
craft an ordinance that wasn't a content-based.
I've seen other towns require somebody have proof of $1 million life insurance or $1 million insurance policy to get out in intersections and collect money and things
In
like
order to
that.
beg.
Yeah, the beg, pretty much.
That's-
You remember about 15 years ago, there's a group of coming from church from Kentucky, getting all the intersections with big buckets, collecting money. When I was in Franklin, they changed the town policy where they had to have like $1 million worth of insurance.
I know that on that subject of
Liability
the
insurance.
folks who collect at intersections, major intersections, I know that municipalities like Fayetteville and Wilmington have created regulations around where
Mhm.
those solicitations can occur, and it's based entirely on the layout of the intersection. And so they have restricted that kind of activity to places where someone can safely solicit cars from the median. And so, but it's not a content-based restriction. It's a police power
location.
safety regulation of that there has to be this many feet from
Yeah.
X and Y to make sure that you don't get killed in the intersection. But as far as an out and out, right, it's prohibition against
Yeah.
begging.
I mean, our
Do you
ordinance
think
is
that's
obsolete.
necessary?
No, I think our ordinance is obsolete, so.
Right.
And unenforceable.
And I would note that the general state, Martha's exactly right, the general statute essentially says that they're not impeding traffic,
Right.
Right.
that they can't be charged. But if there are situations that I think you're referring to, if there's a traffic island, a safe place for them to be, as long as they're not impeding traffic, a lot of those ordinances address that particular issue.
We did have a merchant that brought this up on June 23rd.
Yeah.
So that's.
So-
Okay.
I will say, if this is something that the council is interested in pursuing, we could try to craft an ordinance that prohibits harassment, right? So you're allowed to solicit, you're allowed to have your sign, you're allowed to ask folks, but if you have received a refusal, you're not allowed to chase people down the street. If merchants have asked you to leave their store, you are required to leave and not re-enter. But those would be the only kinds of things that we could pursue in order to address that merchant's concern.
But then that would be trespassing then.
Yeah,
on
so
private
yeah,
property,
those
right.
would
Right,
be
we already
tied
have
to
something
criminal,
on
Sure.
existing criminal law that prohibits
Right,
trespassing, prohibits
Yeah, because
harassment.
if they ask them to leave once,
Sure.
they're required to leave. So we.
It would
I
really
don't feel like
only be
doing
a
redundancies.
duplication of state law, exactly, and I'm sure the
So
chief's
it-
officers would know that.
It sounds like we really don't have a problem.
No.
Well, let's
No.
don't come up with a solution.
To a non-problem.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to approve the change in the ordinance.
Sure.
Second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so like sign. Okay,
Thank you for your time.
thank you, sir.
Now is item 2E, building inspection.
Yeah, and which is me. So this, because I was tasked with helping code enforcement through various issues they were having with electrical contractors at the Valleywood Farm subdivision last fall, that has sort of stayed in my bucket of responsibilities, and I've continued to work with Tom McGuire and David Kelly in the code enforcement department to help guide them through trying to get those residences that we're uncertain about up to code. As a part of that work, I developed concerns that our current ordinance did not lay out due process sufficiently to withstand scrutiny if a major developer like D.R. Horton or their electrical contractors are also major national companies chose to nitpick the way that we regulated their construction at that site or future developments, which I believe we're likely to see more of in the coming months. So I put together a tiered process going through the notice of violation, opportunity to cure, Okay, if you don't comply at that point, then we're talking about a correction order. That's sort of your middle tier opportunity to fix. It's the yellow light or caution flag, as it were. And then if violations continue to occur after that point, then the code enforcement department is empowered to issue sub-work orders. And then because we also want, financial consequences to attach to this, given the additional expenses to the town for repeated inspections, repeated visits, communications, et cetera. There's also a tiered schedule of
Yes.
penalties that can attach to.
So like the second, and third violation.
Mhm, right, so they have to demonstrate a repeated pattern of noncompliance in order to get to these civil penalties. All of these things were available to our code enforcement officials by state law prior to this ordinance. But they are not, there's no process spelled out in state statute for the code enforcement to follow. That's generally left up to local ordinance to enact. So this gives David and his staff a process to follow. First step is this, second step is this. You have to send it to them in writing to these people. These people are entitled to this level of notice, et cetera. There's an appeal process. So it, I think, will help the town withstand any challenges from, to any code enforcement penalties that are imposed going forward. You have questions? Based on your comments before the meeting where you said that it referred to
Yeah, there's
itself.
two sections, number 10,
Mhm.
122.
Yes,
There's two
so I
sections that are
found
named the same.
E8 is the
Yeah,
one I found.
E8
And the-
cites itself, and 1017E says Commissioner of Insurance, while 10122G2 says State Fire Marshal. And then 10123 is orphaned. So my thing is, I don't think we can fix it tonight. I think we just need to pull it back to
Okay.
August, but there is a question
Mhm.
that the council needs to answer before.
Sure.
Because it's the penalties escalated to the second and third violation within 12 months. Is that per property, per permit, or per building?
That's a great question.
Or builder? I would say builder.
That's tricky. I mean, I think that the code enforcement statutes focus on permits. So it might have to be by permit. I think that's, and included in the packet, you see the session law passed this summer, which greatly increases the litigation abilities of.
And the reason I
Yeah.
bring this up is that because there's been litigation on this exact matter, I want it very clear
Mhm.
because there'll probably be more litigation.
Yeah, I think that, I think that the statutes that empower the code enforcement are broad enough that we could take a more broad view. But, that might open the town up to challenges later.
I don't want that.
Yeah, okay, so then
So-
permit is the safest choice for that
So-
revision.
If you want, I can give you my notes for this and make
That'd be
changes
lovely.
and then
Yes.
bring it back on August
Yes,
25th. Is that okay with the?
Yep.
Can we put it on the consent agenda then?
Yes, then we can put
Yes.
it on the consent agenda.
Yeah.
And now the other item is 2G, which is CLG contracts. The motion is to approve 2 firms, while only 1 firm, which was Roadhouse, is in the packet and caps at $10,000, which is the whole budget. I don't know if Ian's still here.
No, Elizabeth stepped out. She's the heavy.
And then the
If
business
you'd like
is
to table-
listed.
If you'd like to table this matter for the moment.
Yeah, because the other part's listed as 2 separate
Yeah.
one's BLE and the other's BLEW.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. Yes, table that to August the 25th as well.
Second.
You have to. I made a motion. Chuck
You
seconds.
Okay.
All
All
in
in
favor?
favor, say aye.
Uh,
Opposed, show like sign. Okay, so ordered. Is that all you have, Anthony?
That's it,
One more.
Mayor, and I appreciate everyone's
One
patience
more.
with me. Oh, yes, we added.
Ordinance 0-33-26, which is a budget ordinance formalizing what we already voted on, which were the floodproofing
Finance.
items for the finance
Yeah.
department of Georgia Avenue. So
Yeah.
I would move that we adopt that ordinance.
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion to adopt the ordinance. All in favor, say aye.
uh,
Opposed, show like sign. Okay. Is there any more? Is that it?
I believe so.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on to communication from our staff. I'll ask for our manager, Rick, to, has anything for us tonight?
Yes, sir. Just a few things to tickle council's memory and remind you of a couple of things that you may not be aware of. I do want, and I'm sorry that Ian and Karen are not here, but I do want to point out that Paige will be sharing more of this in her reports to you. They've done an excellent job really chasing down the FEMA money. We've got it down to about 5 projects now. The dog park, which obviously the town expended some funds for. The public works slope, which they're working with the engineers on a more affordable, reasonable design from a cost standpoint. The Wildcat subdivision, which is largely culverts and some other issues of ground stability. And then the ball field complex, Dutch Fisher and Van Street. So just want to commend the staff. Pretty significant amount of money. Some of that's been spent by the town already, and some has not, and waiting FEMA approval. So quite a challenging thing. Having gone through that myself with my previous employer, FEMA's no picnic, and definitely want to commend them. Also, just make you aware the water interconnection project that is a partnership between the town of Canton, Clyde, and Waynesville. The RFQ process, that's being drafted now so that eventually an engineering firm can be selected. That's going to be obviously a multi-year project. We have budgets that are being revised. I think that budget is somewhere in the $18 million area at this point in time. I don't expect it to change significantly, but that project is moving forward. And as you may be aware, Mr. Heights is working with the local council of governments, working with Clyde and Canton, and I'm sure he will do a great job, and I'll enjoy working with Rob. One other thing I do want to mention to you, and I mentioned this last time, you all were aware that the town was behind on submitting its audit to the local government commission. Thankfully, Ian and his staff worked hard, and they have gotten the final version submitted to Martin Starnes, the auditor, for review. They've made a number of minor changes, and we're just waiting to hear from Martin Starnes when it's been submitted to the LGC, which is a good thing. Because, as you all know, the rules that govern the submission of those audits allows the local government commission to withhold sales tax money if you don't submit your audit in a timely fashion in accordance with the rules. And we did appeal that, and we did receive notice that our appeal was granted. So we will not have any sales tax money withheld because we are at this point. And Ian will, and Karen will hopefully begin working on the 26 audit here before too long. And hopefully we can get it in, probably not by the deadline this year, but hopefully much sooner, and can get up to speed and in a timely manner have those audits completed. As you know, they're all very important. Local government commission, a lot of people will eschew their role sometimes. They're a great thing for North Carolina. They hold people accountable, and sometimes we all need that. So that's really all I have. And I also want to thank you all again. Appreciate the time you've given me when I've had the opportunity to speak with you. I do want to try to, the next couple of weeks, get with each of you individually or in pairs just to have some conversation about my role here and some of the things that I want to make sure that council, there are things obviously I don't know whether you know. And I want to make sure that we are communicating and making sure that I'm doing what you want me to do. So I do want to thank you, seen the mayor quite a bit, and
Yeah.
appreciate that very much. And appreciate Candace and all the staff. Been very, very great so far.
Thank you,
They're
sir.
pretty amazing. We have great staff.
Thank you, Greg. Okay, we move on to town attorney. Do you have anything? You have anything? Okay. All right, communication from the mayor and staff. I thought of something there that I'd rather you guys address. And so you know how sometimes I go and talk to Public Works or whatever that, but it actually, Vic Dawsey on Glendale Drive, I finally remembered his name page. Vic Dawsey is his name. I can't remember the address, but he's on the bottom end of Auburn Park. But what's happening is on my street, Springview Drive. And it actually, there's a culvert at a storm drain that the guys came over. I actually watched it on their screen where they put the underground camera, and they run the underground camera about 18 feet. And as far as it would go, the culvert is probably rusted and rotted and dropped or something. And so he's wanting to know what the plans are for trying to get, because what's happening, all the water from that is going to his backyard. And it's probably 3 inches deep in his backyard. And what, it's crazy that this culvert runs in that direction between myself and a neighbor, and then goes through his backyard and comes out in a little stream. That's where this comes out at. And they put the chemical through or whatever there on other areas there that they thought there was a problem, with the storm drain, but that showed up to be pretty much okay. But on my area there's a problem there. There's a problem, and the blunt end of it's going to him. I hate to see it get dug up, because actually, and I'm sure when they do start to do more investigation on it, that they will check, because there's a natural gas line runs there, and then down on the end of my yard, there's underground utilities that run, and all that's going to be right in that
Happy to follow up.
that
I'm
problem.
sure it was
If you-
flooded this afternoon, Mayor.
Huh?
I'm sure it was flooded
Oh,
about
yeah,
an
he-
hour ago.
He's not an upset about it. He just wants to know when and what we're going to do about it to fix it. And this has been going on for quite a while. It's not like something that just popped up. It has been going on, he may be aware of it at least a couple months or something like that. But I don't want to step in there and say, hey, that's your
I'll make
guys'
sure it gets
That's your
followed up.
guys'.
Yep.
job, to check that out. And if they would, they can contact him directly, or they can let me know and I'll let him know, either one there, what the plan is. But it's going to be a mess once ever
We'll make sure it gets communicated.
it started. Yeah. That's all I have. Chuck, do you have anything?
No, and I think that's the standard way we deal with things. If we have a problem, we ask the town manager
Yeah.
to deal with it. So that was-
Especially it being part of my yard, I don't need to be involved with it,
I've been involved.
I'm wondering if you can't just fix it. But
Yeah. But,
We could load him a shovel.
yeah. I dread the mess,
No, Mr. Mayor, I don't have anything.
No. John?
No, sir. I'm gonna-
Well, except that
What about
the link to buy,
That money you were referring to?
We're gonna
we're
wait for a
gonna do
budget
it
amendment.
next.
Oh, you got that covered. Anthony?
I'm sad that Elizabeth is not in the room, but this is her last meeting, and I want to publicly thank her for everything she's done for the town. She's done a phenomenal job, and I'm very sad to see her go.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy for her to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I spoke with her at length, this afternoon, and she said, now you make sure you come, to her thing. It's next, not this Wednesday, but a week from this Wednesday.
She has
Yeah,
been a
the
great
19th.
mentor for me.
So
on
put
the
that on your calendars, guys, to
Broad River MPO.
go to EP's farewell party there. You know, we'll all miss her for sure because I always have questions for her. And if she don't have it then, she always gets back and lets you know about it. Okay, if there's nothing further there, I will ask for a motion that we adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Mayor.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, so like sign. Thank you all. Thanks, Chief, for coming and sitting with us tonight, making sure we're safe.
And I apologize for.
Crazy.